My name is Ann Owen, and I live in Mineola, Wood County, Texas. I am a victim of Wood County justice. My husband was a Korean War veteran. My daughter is a career military woman, having been in the Air Force 29 years. And my son-in-law just retired from the military. And my granddaughter is now in the Marines. We have served our country well. I've always believed in land of the free, home of the brave, and liberty and justice for all. That's what America is all about. But not in Wood County, Texas. My story began in spring of 2004 as I had a sign on my property, 10 acres for sale by owner. I had had this 10 acres surveyed as that was my intention, to sell only 10 acres at a time in order to have a little money to live on. The gentleman that we bought our property from, that was what he made a lot of money, just buying and selling property. And he always advised me, he said, after my husband passed, he said, just sell 10 acres at a time from front to back. Run it from front to back and sell 10 acres at a time. That way you'll have a little bit of money to live on. But my husband was terribly sick the last 2 years of his life, and it took everything that we had to keep him alive. He was a diabetic, he was on dialysis, he'd lost a leg, he was in a wheelchair, and prescriptions and everything were so terribly expensive. And then we had the problem of going to dialysis 3 times a week. That was also, so he left me the land, but he didn't leave me any money. But I'm in the same boat as a lot of other old ladies my age, I know that. But I had this sign on my property, and the plaintiff drove by. This was in April or May of 2004, because I know about the time frame. My grandson was still in school, and had it not been that he was in school, he would have been here. But he was in school, and the plaintiff called me on the phone and asking about the property. He said he had driven by the house and seen the property, the sign for sale. So he harassed me all that summer, from say April or May till at least the day that I signed the papers. That was September the 30th. So there was about 6 months there that he continued to harass me. He even came to the restaurant where I worked, and he would just sit there and look at the floor, and I told him, I said, I didn't have time at the restaurant to talk to him about the land, and I said, I'll make up my mind. I'm just very slow about making up my mind. But he said, he came one day, and I was mowing the grass, and he said, I don't want just 10 acres. I want this whole property. And I said, I can't do that. The property from the top of the hill to my house down here. I said, oh, I can't do that. I said, my house is in the middle of the property, and I said, if I ever get ready to sell my land, the rest of the land that I have in my house, I said, I won't be able to sell it. So finally I agreed to sell him 25 acres, only if there was a 5-acre buffer between my property and his property. I finally agreed to sell him the 25 acres for $60,000. Why I did, I don't know, because I knew that wasn't enough money. But I guess my money was just running out, and I was starting to worry about the bills. And I'm like most of the old ladies, they don't want to ask their children for money, and neither did I. So the plaintiff knew that I lived here by myself with my grandson, and he knew that I was very vulnerable, and there was no one around to advise me. So he always came to the house unexpectedly, never calling me and letting me know when he was coming. So he came on Thursday, September the 30th, 2004, and brought papers for me to sign. This was about 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because there again, my grandson was in school, and he got home on the bus at 3:45, so I knew it had to be before. Because always when he came home from school, I would always stop about an hour before and get him the snack ready for him to eat when he came in. So I knew about the time frame, but anyhow, he told me that he came in a big rush. With his wife was in another car. So he said, I'm on the way to the title company. I got to get you to sign these papers today. Well, she turned around and told me that they were going out to eat. They were going to eat. They were on the way to eat. So I should have known then that there was something wrong with the situation. It didn't size up. So he laid the papers on top of my car. My car was parked in the driveway. And he said, sign here and initial here and here and here. Well, I signed where he told me to sign, exactly where he told me to sign. But on one of the pages that I was to initial, I looked up and there was the minerals. And I said, that's not right about the minerals. That's not what I told you about the minerals. That's not what we'd agreed about the minerals. Well, that's okay. The title company will take care of that. Well, little did I know that the title company was going to do just exactly what he told them to do. So there he grabbed the papers off the top of my car and ran down the driveway, and the whole time I was screaming at him, "Jeff, that's not right, that's not right." He left me no copy of what I had signed, and I didn't know what I had signed because I just didn't get a chance to look at it or to see it or anything. And all of this time, believe it or not, he had not given me one dime. No money. Did I ever have any of his money? No. I had not one penny of his money. The next day, which was October the 1st, he went to the title company and gave $1,000 a deposit on the land. The following Saturday, which was October the 2nd, my neighbor came and said he didn't know I was selling the land, and he said he knew that they were going to log the land because he'd seen the loggers there. And I told him, I said I had asked the gentleman, the plaintiff, not to log the land because it devaluates everybody's land that's surrounding, his land and my land and everybody else's. So he said, he never did tell me that he was going to, so I kind of knew inside that he was going to. That's exactly what he was going to do, was to log the land.